Hello everyone, so I think we're live now, like fully live. Hello everyone, what was that? Anyways, hello there. This is my first live stream for the month of June. It is now noon here in the Philippines on Thursday the 4th of June 2026. So I'm currently here in a room somewhere. I turned on air conditioning, so yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's a white wall. So there's really nothing there here to see except my face. And I do apologize if my voice isn't really audible as of now because, well, it's that my phone is standing right now. That's why I can freely move with my two hands. So the speaker at the bottom of my phone is somewhat covered. So if you cannot hear much about what I'm saying here, I do apologize. That might be the reason. Anyways, the month of June has only began just 4 days ago. We are only 4 days into the month of June, and for some reason, a lot has already happened in both the House of Representatives and in the Senate. And I'm making specifics here. I'm specifying the Philippine House of Representatives and the Philippine Senate. I will be focusing on domestic politics for now. So, yeah. Anyways, there we go. Who even is this at underscore Itzeyang 3Gs? Whoever that is, I do not know, but yeah, let's move on. A lot has happened in the Philippine legislature, in the Philippine Congress, in both the House of Representatives and the Senate. So for now, I'll be focusing on Philippine politics. Just give you a rundown, like give both of us, like I'll be giving myself and you guys a rundown on how the chambers have been going. Like, how are the chambers today? Like, how are they? Right. Let's begin with the 1st of June 2026. You remember the 1st of June 2026, right? Just 3 days ago. And yeah, if you don't remember, Senator Jinggoy Estrada has surrendered to the Sandigan Bayan following an arrest warrant issued, or not, I don't think he surrendered to the Sandigan Bayan. He surrendered to the authorities. Like in here, like in what I'm reading, it's only the authorities. But I think it's the CIDG, Quezon City, like the QCPD CIDG, or I think I'm wrong in that. Disregard that. Just he surrendered to the authorities following an arrest warrant issued by the Sandigan Bayan 5th Division regarding a non-bailable plunder case involving alleged kickbacks from flood control projects. So back in late May, he was actually issued another arrest warrant from the Sandigan Bayan. I think it was from a different division of the Sandigan Bayan, but there was a bail. A set amount was set. An amount of money was set as bail. To be more specific, I think it was 90,000 pesos, or under $2,000, if you like that kind of metric. Anyways, a lot of people are joining here. That's interesting. Well, Finley? Well, hello there, and Miguel. Those are my current viewers. You are free to leave. Like, I think this is going to be a very sensitive subject. Hi from Blar, BLAR. Deep voice from Aaron. Yeah, I do have a deep voice. 100 like. Well, thanks for that, Blar. Saan po papadito yung barangay pitipiu-piu-wiu-wiu? I think you're in the wrong live stream. This is not where you're going to look for barangay pitipiu-piu-wiu-wiu. I'm here in Iligan City. There's no barangay pitipiu-piu-wiu-wiu here. Blar, Aaron, and Finley have now liked the live, and we are now fast approaching 400 likes. Follow the live creator, and Finley has also said, explain more. Bahug Otin. Huh. Well, I did not say that. Alright. Okay, let's continue with my explanation. This non-bailable arrest is the second time the Sandigan Bayan has issued an arrest warrant for Senator Jinggoy Estrada, and since this time it's non-bailable, meaning he cannot get out of it by just paying money, Senator Estrada cannot escape the arrest warrant. Anyways, what is here? Ha 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 ha, angas mo, ha 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 ha. There's also mag-Filipino ka and 1KK. I'm not speaking in Filipino because I have an international audience, even though, yes, I will concede most, if not all of my followers are Filipino. I'm still speaking in the English language because this is posted on the internet. Like, the Philippine internet is not specifically constrained to the Philippines. Okay, goodbye, got you, Bray. Oh, there it is, 1,000 likes. Well, alright then. Goodbye, I suppose. Let's continue. Since Senator Estrada is now in detention, and more specifically, I think he's in the Quezon City Jail. I'm just reading here. Senator Estrada surrendered to the Philippine National Police Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, the CIDG, after the Sandigan Bayan 5th Division issued a non-bailable warrant of arrest for a plunder case related to alleged kickbacks from flood control projects. He has also said, Senator Jinggoy Estrada, he has also said, and publicly, he declared that he would not seek Senate custody, stating that he would not use his position as a senator to shield himself from the legal process. Manonood lang ako. Alright then. That's very nice. I suppose that how kind. Okay, now we have gotten that out of the way. We will now be getting into the following events. Since Jinggoy Estrada has now been arrested, members of the former majority bloc boycotted sessions on the 1st and 2nd of June. Like, when they mean when I say former majority bloc, I mean like former today, not former just a few days ago. Like, the majority bloc has only changed, I think, yesterday. So, that's how quick events can change. Like, and how blocks in the minority and the majority can change if in the upper house of a nation with over 150 million people, there are only 24 who are supposed to represent the entire nation. So, of course, these 24 people have enormous power enormous influence and just a lot of, like a lot of political weight, if I may say so. Now, I'm using Google Gemini for summarizing these events, but I am also pointing out mistakes here that the AI chatbot has produced. It says here that, where is it? Anyways, sino ang napatay kay Lapu-Lapu? I don't know. Hold on, let me check a bit. Where is it? I want to read it verbatim. Where is it? Oh, okay. I cannot seem to find it. Mama Mo Blue Berries 6982. Well, hello there, I suppose. But anyways, I noticed a mistake that the AI chatbot has produced, saying that since Ramon Bonrevilla and Juan Ponce Enrile were absent, the amount of senators were now 22. Well, the latter part of that is true. There are now actually only 22 senators. But it's not Juan Ponce Enrile and Bonrevilla who were gone. Bonrevilla only showed up at the Sandigan Bayan, I think, to post bail, I think at also 90,000 pesos. And Juan Ponce Enrile is dead. He has not been in the Senate for a while now. So, yeah, that's a mistake that I think is avoidable from the perspective of Google Gemini. Like, why would this chatbot make such a simple mistake? I don't know. I'm still relying on this AI chatbot. But come on, like, it's a simple mistake. Anyways, I think it's the absences of De La Rosa and Estrada that lowered the amount of senators in the Philippines to I think like 22. Like the amount of senators in the chamber have been reduced from 24 to 22 following the absences of De La Rosa and Estrada. That could be wrong. De La Rosa probably still counts as a senator, but who can say? But now that the amount of senators have been lowered to 22, the new quorum, or the majority needed to conduct business in the Senate, was now 12, not 13, 12, which is interesting because since the now former majority bloc, or let's just call it the current minority bloc, was absent on the 1st and 2nd of June in the Senate, business could not be conducted. Nothing could happen. And they have called this a Senate impasse. IMPASSE, impasse. And since the amount of senators have been lowered to 22, the quorum has now also been lowered to 12. The now majority bloc, the current majority bloc, has invoked a Supreme Court case. Let me check what the Supreme Court case is. Avellino versus Cuenco. They have invoked that Supreme Court case to declare all leadership positions vacant. Remember, if you notice anything wrong, you are free to comment your corrections in the chat. It's still turned on. Anyways, they have declared all leadership positions vacant, like the Senate President pro tempore, and the committees. So let us have a bit of a look. Senator Sherwin Gatchalian is now the Senate President pro tempore, and he has now been designated as the acting Senate President. Yes, Alan Peter Cayetano is still the Senate President, but since he is absent and business does have to be conducted, the new Senate President pro tempore, Sherwin Gatchalian, will be the acting Senate President. I think he is replacing Senator Loren Legarda as the Senate President pro tempore. What is this? Hello from Miss Bill Lath, with the username FEATBOOK, or Feetbook. Right? There have now been changes also to the committees in the Senate. The Rules Committee is now headed by Juan Miguel Subiri. The Finance Committee is now headed by J.V. Ejercito. The Blue Ribbon Committee is now headed by Erwin Tulfo. The National Defense Committee is now headed by Vicente Soto III, and the Public Order and Accounts Committee is now led by Panfilo Lacson. Also, the Chamber adopted a resolution to amend the rules of procedure on impeachment trials, specifically to provide for the election of a presiding officer in cases where the vice president, rather than the president, is the subject of the trial. I don't exactly know what that means. I should read it again. The Chamber adopted a resolution to amend the rules of procedure on impeachment trials, specifically to provide for the election of a presiding officer in cases where the vice president is the subject. Oh, okay. I think I know what this means. Like, if there's an impeachment trial where the vice president, or maybe someone in a lower position, or I think this only applies to the vice president, that individual is, well, that trial, there has to be an election before the impeachment court can convene. So if Alan Peter Cayetano is the Senate President, it doesn't necessarily mean that he will be the presiding officer for the Senate impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. So yeah, that, like, in just 4 days, that's in the Senate. I have not even talked about the House of Representatives yet. And to answer Mr. Ryan's question of, what happened to Kiko Barzaga, or Bazarga, as he is spelled here, I will be answering that question in a bit. But for now, I will be talking about, let's see here. Uh, there's okay, here it is. Before we talk about Kiko Barzaga, a bill has been passed in the House of Representatives concerning the Anti-Political Dynasty Act. On the 3rd of June, the House passed House Bill number 8389 on the third and final reading. With a vote of 267 to 26-7, the bill seeks to prohibit relatives within the second degree of consanguinity or affinity from simultaneously holding or seeking elective posts in the same jurisdiction. It now moves to the Senate. Also on the 3rd of June, the House approved a priority bill aimed at combating online deception and organized disinformation campaigns. On the 4th of June, which is just today, the House approved 3 major education-related measures, House Bill numbers 9358, 9377, and 9466, focused on governance, constitutional literacy, and nutrition support. Now, this is where the Kiko Barzaga question comes in. Because in a vote of 265 to 14, the House of Representatives has voted to expel Cavite 4th District Representative Francisco Barzaga following an Ethics Committee recommendation. Now, here's one thing you need to know about expulsions in the House and Senate. In either of these chambers, there are basically 2 routes. There's the legislative and the legal route. For the legal route, you have to be arrested and then convicted before you are then removed from that chamber. But in the legislative route, there must be there has to be a recommendation of expulsion from a House committee, like say the House Committee on Ethics or the Senate Committee on Ethics. Either of these chambers have to recommend expulsion in order for a vote to be moved forward. And here's another thing you have to know about expulsions in the House and Senate. You need 2/3 of your fellow colleagues in either chamber or in the chamber where you sit in order for you to be expelled. 2/3, okay? Keep that in mind. Let me have a look at the House of Representatives in the Philippines. Let's just have a look at... Okay, the current numbers in the in the House of Representatives, there are also blocks in the House of Representatives because Philippine politics is very fragmented, so yeah. Anyways, the current political groupings, the majority bloc consists of 286 representatives. The minority bloc consists of 27 representatives. The independent bloc contains 4 representatives, and there are 2 vacancies. I think let me just pull out my calculator for now and have a look at 318. No, that has to be times 318 multiplied by 50%. The majority is 160. Yeah, the majority would be 160. And what is... oh. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. Okay. The majority is 160 for the House of Representatives, and I think I did not address this. Happy lunch mga bahog bilat. I guess, maybe, sure? I don't know. But anyways, the majority threshold in the House of Representatives is 160, since half would be 159. You would need one more for a majority, which is 160. Now let us look at what would be the 2/3 majority, or the 2/3 super majority. And let's say it's 67%. Just to really make sure that we're in the 2/3 supermajority. The 2/3 supermajority would be 213. The majority block consists of 286. So, if in theory we became a unicameral Congress with only the House of Representatives in place, like the Senate is abolished, all of its career persons and individuals would be moved to the House, with the senators, just out of a job and having to wait until 2028 to get into to be elected once again. The 286 supermajority can override any presidential veto if it wants to. That is, excuse me, that is how, let's say, united the House of Representatives is. And I don't even know much about the politics or the political composition of the House. I'm just looking at it right now with all of its, political compositions, and I don't really know their ideologies. But even I will admit that these are good numbers. This is good. Not really great. I'm seeing PDP Laban in the majority block, but it's a united block. I can get behind. I can like this. I can deal with this. I can love this composition of the House of Representatives compared to the Senate, where it's 24 people. But why do we even have a Senate? I really think it should be abolished as a chamber in the Philippines. We should be a unicameral nation. And if any of you out there are concerned about, removing a chamber, causing political deadlock, come on. There is no deadlock in the House, but there is deadlock in the Senate. It's in the Senate where I have problems. Come on, bruh. Anyways, enough about ranting about the Philippine Senate. And let's just go back to the fact that on the 3rd of June, I think it was also on the 3rd of June, or maybe on the 2nd, the House of Representatives voted 265 to 14 to expel Francisco Barzaga as the 4th District Representative of the province of Cavite. So, there's that. I think I'm done ranting here. I think I'm done doing this live stream. Yeah. Anyways, I think that is it for this live stream. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.